Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, we're back in the fruit cage and I thought we'd just have a little look at the difference between a red currant and a black currant. Both brilliant fruits to grow. You can use them in so many different ways, very, very healthy as well to eat them. So this is a black currant. Now black currants can come in all different sizes. This is quite a vigorous growing bush. Some of the modern hybrids aren't quite as tall, so you can get them to suit all gardens. And what we're basically looking for on a black currant bush, and we grow it so the growth, as much of the growth comes from the base of the plant as possible. It's what we call a stooled bush, and the stool means we cut some of the older wood back each year. And we can see that last year when this was pruned, some of the branches have been cut back, and it's encouraged in the centre this new growth, which all this new growth, the lighter brown growth here, this will all have fruit on it this year. So this is what will bear the fruit for us later this summer. Once this is fruited, it doesn't fruit again. So what we try to do, if you've got a black currant, is we try to cut out some of the old wood and leave in as much of the new wood as possible. So we're renewing it a little bit each year. If you don't, it will still grow and fruit, but it just gets bigger and bigger and really woody in the base there. So what I would do first thing is to look round it. I'm going to cut this off for a start because this is in the way of the path. So I'm literally going to get my loppers in here because we can see this is all fruited. These are where the fruits were last year on this one. So I'm going to take that one off like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of these off. Again, it's an old one. It has got new growth on it that will fruit, so we're going to lose some fruit, but the idea is about getting the quality of the fruit rather than the quantity sometimes. So again, I'm going to cut that into there, and if we take that off, we can see by taking that piece out, it allows a little bit more room for these branches to grow. Anything that's damaged, we take off as well. All right, but what we don't do is shorten any of these long new growths. Unlike other fruits that we do, sometimes we leave these as long as possible. So I'm going around taking out some of the older wood and just basically thinning it out a little bit to leave all this lovely new wood. So a nice big one out there. There's a thick one growing here. And it's again making it a strange shape. So I'm gonna, it's quite brutal, but I'm gonna take that one out. Can't see a bud as such, but I'm going to cut it down quite low and get rid of that one as well. So as you can see, I have been fairly heavy with that, and I would work my way around it. Now, if you look down deep into the base of this plant, and if we can get Sean, we've got Sean filming for us today, if we can see down in there, we can see, Sean, all of these buds on the base of some of these old stems. And it's these little buds that will grow once we cut it down. So what I'm going to do is cut that one down just above that bud. And then all the energy will go into these buds all the way around the base. So that will put out 4 or 5 lovely strong shoots this year that will fruit next year. Hence that renewal pruning. And it's all about encouraging new growth. So I don't really think that needs any more out this year. I think we've sort of taken plenty out of that. And the bulk of what we've left in here is new wood from last year that will fruit this summer. Also in this bed, there's a red currant just here. Same family, they're all ribes. And these we treat slightly differently. So unlike the black currant where we're cutting old wood out down at the base, with this one, similar to a gooseberry, we try to build up a framework of older branches. Now, you do occasionally have to take some older ones out, but basically what we want to do is encourage these short stems. So I might do a little bit of thinning and just take 1 or 2 back where they're growing out. And it also allows for a bit of better air circulation. So I would probably do a little bit of thinning in there first. So just you go around and you have a look at it and think, well, where does it look a little bit crowded? We'll take 1 or 2 of them out, anything that's low down and in the way. But then what I'm going to do with these new shoots, and these are the shoots on here that grew last year. Now, if we look at it, this is probably a good example here. These are the stalks where the fruits were last year. And these little fat buds at the base of the new shoots are where the flowers and the fruit will hang this year. So what we tend to do is to shorten these side shoots, or laterals as we call them. So it's a bit like spur pruning an apple. So it's vastly going to reduce the size of the shrub But by taking all these off and just leaving these short growths, the fruit will be concentrated on that piece from these buds at the base and these buds just here. So it's quite a slow process going around doing this. And of course with red currants you can actually train them as fans, or you can grow them as cordons as well, because you're going to spur prune them back each year. So it's really just a case of doing a bit of thinning and then going around and shortening these stems like this. If you get a plant or a shrub that is really big and overgrown, then don't be worried to take 1 or 2 out at the base, because again that will just regenerate some growth. But it is important that you treat red currants differently to black currants, otherwise you won't get much fruit if you prune them wrong. So just a reminder, black currants, we take out some of the old but we leave in the long new growth that was made last year to fruit this year. With the red currants we thin out a little bit and then we shorten back all these shoots to make it nice and twiggy to get a concentration of fruit within it. Simple, isn't it, really? So I'm going to carry on and get this one done. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and as always you can watch all of the videos that we've done on YouTube, and don't forget our podcast that comes out every Sunday morning, and I'll be back again with you soon in the garden, so we'll see you then. Bye.